The Maricopa County Board of Supervisors has a new chairman plus 3 new members. The board sets policies for the county and approves its budget. And joining us now is the new chairman of the board, Thomas Galvin. Good to see you.
Hi, Ted.
Congratulations. That's Frank Sinatra doing it my way, chairman of the board over here.
My new theme song.
There you go. You won your election as well. You're also the chairman. But as far as the election is concerned, why do you think you won? And why do you think that you are now chairman of the Board of Supervisors?
Well, great question. The reason why I think I won is that when I went out in my district in the East Valley, which is predominantly Scottsdale and Mesa, but nearly 1 million people, it's very simple. I just listened to voters. I listened to the issues that were important to them, and I worked on those things. And for me, it was about public safety, and it was about fiscal responsibility. And I had a record I can boast where we've cut property taxes every single year since I joined the Board of Supervisors, but we've also invested in public safety to make sure that our county sheriff and our county attorney have the resources that they need to keep us safe.
So when you say public safety in economic situations, is that the message they sent to you directly, or was it kind of, that's the general consensus?
It's shared values. It's understanding what's important here at local government. And for me, as I outlined in my speech last week as the new chairman of the board, it's making sure that we're ensuring prosperity and we're securing safety. And so this is something that I know that resonated with my voters.
Prioritizing fiscal conservatism. What does that mean?
It's very simple. Just don't spend more than you bring in. And at Maricopa County Board of Supervisors, we control the second largest budget in the state. Our budget is roughly about $4 billion. Obviously, we're the 4th largest county in the country, which means with 4.5 million people living here in the Valley, we have a population larger than 25 states, but we have a great fiscal record. We've cut property tax rates every year that I've been on the board, but also we're ensuring good services and we're getting people the bang for their buck.
You got 3 new members on the board this year, this go-around, I should say. Who are they, and how does that change the balance of what goes on?
Sure thing. So one thing, we have a returning member, Democrat Steve Gallardo, but the new 3 members are Republicans. Debbie Lesko in the West Valley, Kate Brophy-McGee in District 3 in the central part of the Valley, and Mark Stewart, who represents with me District 1 in the East Valley. In many ways, the board is the same. It's still a 4-to-1 Republican composition. It is a Republican conservative board, one of the only county led by Republicans out of the top 10 counties in the country. But these are different people, different personalities, different experiences, well-known public servants, but I'm really excited about working with them over the next 4 years.
When it comes to budgeting and spending, obviously the priority here, how does that dynamic of these 3 new individuals, how does that change things?
So in that respect, we don't change. They want to keep and maintain the great record of fiscal responsibility we have here at Maricopa County, a conservative record of being good stewards of taxpayers' dollars.
Public safety, more funds for MCSO, compensation structure, these sorts of things. What are we talking about here?
This is big problems that we need to tackle here at Maricopa County. There's a lot of stuff we can be proud of, but there's a lot of stuff we need to work on. And what I said in my speech is that I want us to be a board of action, and I want to deliver a consequential chairmanship. At the sheriff's office, we have the lowest pay compared to 27 law enforcement agencies in Maricopa County. A lot of that is attributable to the federal oversight that has really hamstrung our purse strings here. But these people are desperate. They need help. And we also want to keep them. We pay money to train them, but then we lose them. And I want to make sure that we're cutting down attrition and we're increasing retention.
So the DOJ oversight, your thoughts on this? The biggest impediment to progress at MCSO, I think you have said. Explain, please.
Absolutely. So one thing I did see on the campaign trail is that voters were shocked to hear that we have spent $300 million since that first federal lawsuit was filed back in 2007. $300 million over the last 18 years. This is money that has been spent on compliance paperwork. Obviously, the Sheriff's Department today is different than the sheriff that we saw 15 years ago. We're now in the 4th sheriff under this federal lawsuit. I think the time has come for us to forge a new path and to see if we can get out of that and then make sure that the Sheriff's Office has the resources it needs to get our deputies on the street and detention officers in our jails to protect us.
And yet, compliance at an earlier date and more vigorous compliance would have, I would imagine, I would hope, shut all this thing down and everyone would have moved forward. There were recent court records that people of color were still being pulled over with more frequency, detained for longer periods of time. We hear this. Why is this going on?
Well, I'm going to challenge you in certain respects on those statistics that we saw. What we have seen is that the Sheriff's Office has made great, tremendous strides since that lawsuit was first filed. In many ways, we're at near compliance in all of these measures, but the compliance goalposts have changed as well, and no one at Maricopa County, much less at the Sheriff's Office, is really advocating or pushing for policies that would be discriminatory. That would be disgusting. We have left those days. When Paul Penzone defeated Sheriff Arpaio, it showed that the Maricopa County voters wanted a different direction. But now they voted for Jerry Sheridan, and they want to continue to make sure that the Sheriff's Office is keeping everyone safe.
All right. As far as election results, we got to talk about this. The County Board of Supervisors was ground zero for a lot of the controversy. You got a 95-in-1 plan.
Right.
What's that all about?
We have seen that the way the Maricopa County state election laws are set up is that we're still counting votes 2 weeks after Election Day. We're one of only 5 states that are doing that. It's provided a considerable strain on the system, especially on our workers and our volunteers. So what I have done is worked with my colleague Debbie Lesko, State Senate President Warren Peterson, what I think is a great new law, which is improving access to voters, but making sure that we have 95% of votes tabulated on election night, which means, one, we cut off the date for late earlies, but this proposed law that Senate President Peterson has proposed actually expands early voting by 2 days, and we're going to expand the number of polling sites that would be available for voters.
So for those who say rushing to get results hurts accuracy, you would say?
Absolutely not. Hogwash. Absolutely not. The number one thing you got to do is accuracy, and Maricopa County and all 15 counties have done that, but we need to get the results tabulated by election night, and by doing this, by improving and opening access, gets us there.
Never had to do this in the past, have to do it now. Is this because there are so many closer races? Obviously, in the past, if you were a Republican and you ran in the state race, or even in the local races, you were likely to win, and you could figure out you were going to win early.
Yeah.
They're so close now, it takes a lot more counting of votes to figure out who won. Isn't that the main difference?
That's one of the main differences, and it's a huge difference. But the other thing is our system cannot tolerate what is undergoing. Every election cycle, we need private facilities to host polling sites. I've heard Democrats like Governor Hobbs and Adrian Fontes said that this proposed law would impede access to voting. In fact, by opening up government buildings to polling sites, you're opening up access. We can't rely on these private facilities because anytime we have a new cycle, they can tell us we're out.
Okay, before you go, I got to ask you about hockey.
Yeah.
For some reason, you just started talking about hockey here. Are you serious here? What's happening?
I am serious. For me, professional sports here is amazing in the Valley. We have the best sports fans in the world. We host a Super Bowl, NASCAR, Final Four. First priority is to work with the Diamondbacks to get a resolution on Chase Field. But I've talked to NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman, and I believe that we can attract the right kind of owner to buy and expand a new hockey team for Arizona, bring the Coyotes, so to speak, back, and get a new world-class facility.
So you're pretty confident?
I'm very confident.
What
It's going to take time.
Yeah, what about the Diamondbacks in that Chase Field situation?
That's also tough, but you know, we have the same goal in mind. The Diamondbacks want to stay at Chase Field. We want them to stay at Chase Field. We own the stadium, but the Diamondbacks run it and control it. They're responsible for all expenses, all revenue. Devil's in the details, but I think we'll get there.
All right, Tom Galvin, you got your work cut out for you.
I do.
You all set?
I'm great.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.